So it's spring '09, and I usually start indoors my small garden of basil, chives, oregano, which always fails, and cilantro, because I use those regularly in attempting to cook. As some of you know, I'm culinarily challenged. But I have that in starting my collection of herbs this spring. In the dirt that you buy, there are evidently gnat eggs that grow up into gnats, because only after I plant everything does everything start to do they start to develop and I guess multiply. But it occurred to me to remember that time when I would have a glass of wine before I went out. I remember when I was younger, and before I get ready to go out, sometimes go hand dancing, because I was hand dancing as opposed to stepping at the time. And I had this balcony where I would open the door and let the window and open the windows and let the fresh air come through before I went out. Because when I go out, I go out with the older people. You know, people in there are often old enough to be my grandparents. So anyway, I remember when I would have a glass of wine before leaving, and I would never finish it. When I come back, there would be these gnats all in the glass. I mean, like they came in from outside. There wouldn't be any flying around the condo. They would be in the glass. So I thought that was so funny how gnats are so attracted to alcohol. And the whole concept of me being in my selfish human thinking, how we feel like every living thing has to think the way we think. I'm looking, I'm like, there are several, like not just one or two, there's several. And it just seems like, humanly speaking, if I'm a gnat and I look at this little glass of wine and think, oh, what a nice glass of wine, I'd like to have a sip of that. If I look in there and see about 12 or 13 of my cousins and uncles and relatives and just fellow creature gnats that have gone in for a sip of alcohol and died in the process, it just seems like I'm not going to go. It's like they see all their peeps in there dead and floating, and they still got to have a sip of this glorious alcohol. I tell you, drink responsibly. Drink responsibly. I encourage it. I like a nice glass of wine. And I will drink till I'm tipsy. But I will not drink to the death. Not to the death. But it occurred to me to remember that time when I would have a glass of wine before I went out with the windows open. It occurred to me to put a glass of wine in with my seeds to see what happened. And sure enough, poor little gnats.